Hi everyone, I'm David Scranton, and thank you for clicking this video because today we're talking about some financial spring cleaning tips. Why? So that you can make sure that you're on track to achieve your retirement goals. And to help me with this also important topic is today's special guest, Stuart Chamberlin, president of Chamberlain Financial, located in Boca Raton, Florida. Stuart, as usual, great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So, surveys, studies across the board have shown that, in general, people are not good managers of their own money. Why do you think that is?
Well, a lot of that has to do with our educational system. In school, they don't really teach you how to handle money. We usually pick up traits from our parents handed down from generation to generation, or we learn by trial and error once we're out in the adult world. And, that can have a lot of pain associated with it.
So it sounds like you're thinking that most people have potential to do better, right? To do better with their own money, correct?
Yes, of course, yes.
Yeah. And how is that? What are some of the things they could do to be better managers of their money?
Well, just like in anything in life, if you make something a priority, you give it the attention it deserves, the outcome is always going to be a lot better, whether it's sports or whether it's in the professional world. So,
sure, it's that whole thing about whatever you focus on is what you get more of in your life. So if you focus on poverty and despair, you're probably going to have more of that. And if you focus on success, your subconscious mind will attract knowledge and skills that can help you become more financially successful. So in many ways, it kind of sort of starts there, does it not?
That's correct. Being consistent is a key to a lot of this.
Now, it's interesting. I don't know if you see this or not. I find that some people think that they don't have to be good money managers. They could be poor money managers as long as they're consistent savers. So I'm not going to worry about being a good money manager. I'm just going to save, and everything's going to work itself out. Why is that not 100% true?
Well, you want your money working for you. So you want to be consistent with your plan. So if you have a plan, you want to stick with that plan and do the little things that make that plan work on a monthly basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, annual basis. And being consistent in that regards trumps a lot of other things and a lot of other industries. Just having that focus of doing the same thing on a consistent basis, weekly and monthly, to see where you're at in your financial plan, is going to make a much better outcome for you in the long run.
And it seems to me like, the higher inflation rates that we've seen over the last several months, I think is reminding people of that, hopefully a little bit more, that, maybe when there's zero inflation, you can save, and if you save a ton, it'll be okay. But right now, if you're just a saver, you're going backward. I mean, I was talking to someone the other day who had $500,000 sitting at zero interest. And I said, you realize you're losing $30,000 to $40,000 a year from that account. What's going on today, almost the single best thing you can do is go out and spend it and lock in your prices of things that you might buy in the future. And I hate to say that because you don't want to spend all your savings, but the reality is that would be better than sitting there at zero interest, right?
Well, yeah, that's the big gorilla in the room right now is inflation. With I think the last time in February, inflation rate was officially around 7.9%, which is quite high. So understanding how money works, understanding how inflation works, understanding how devastating that is on your purchasing power over time is very important. And understanding that wealth is measured in time. Money is measured in time. So if you have a month of wealth, you have a month of money that can cover all your bills, you have 1 month of wealth. If you have a year of wealth, you're covered for 1 year. Wealthy people have wealth for a lifetime, meaning all their needs are covered for their whole life. So money is measured in time. So you have to factor in, what's the future value of a single sum, or what's the future value of a dollar 10 years from now or 20 years from now if we have an average inflation rate at such a high rate as it is now. So you have to factor those things in when you're making a plan.
Sure. So give me a couple tips that are going to help people become better stewards, if you will, of their money.
Well, if you're nearing retirement or in retirement, you want to start thinking about reducing the overall risk that you have to your portfolio. You want to start taking that into account and removing a lot of the volatility that we're seeing now. I mean, the Fed, is taking a posture of raising interest rates, which, this can cause volatility. And the reason they're doing that is to combat inflation. That's why they do that. But they can't do it too quickly because they don't want to cause a recession. And we're starting to see, some signs of a recession maybe in 2023 with inverted yield curves on the 5-year and 10-year note between the two. So you want to start having more of a focus on things that don't have so much volatility in them, where they're focused more on income, interest driven or dividend driven vehicles to get that volatility out of the mix and reduce your overall risk as you change your mindset from a growth mindset or growth focus to an income focus.
Sure. And we mentioned before, inflation is one of the big motivators for people today to work on becoming better stewards of their money, better managers of their money, because it's inflation we haven't seen for nearly 4 decades. What are some of the other things going on right now? I know you mentioned the flat yield curve and risk of recession. So, why is that something that should motivate people to become more knowledgeable about their money at a time like this?
Well, nobody knows, what the future is going to hold. We know the pattern, the history of the markets and the economy that we're in now, how we got here. So you want to prepare for what could happen. So if you're up and you've had a pretty good run here in the last 10, 20 years, you want to start taking some of that and setting that aside in things that don't have that risk associated with it. The sooner you can do that, the better you'll be in the long run. Taking into account, like I said, inflation, cost of healthcare, all those things, they're all going up. So you need to really start changing, the way you look at investing and start thinking about the what could happen, what if this or what if that happens, how would that affect my lifestyle in retirement? If I had a 20% drop in my portfolio, how bad would that affect me? Well, if you talk to a knowledgeable financial advisor, he can easily show you, if this happens, if we had something like in 2008 happen to you in your portfolio right now, this is how it's going to affect your income and your lifestyle.
So Stuart, how about rising interest rates, right? Since the beginning of the year, interest rates have been coming up, and some people are frozen by that and say, oh, I can't do anything with my money because interest rates are going up. What would you tell those folks?
Well, I mean, if interest rates are slowly starting to creep up and they're waiting for them to go higher.
Yeah, and people that are worried, they heard Warren Buffett's quote that, okay, when interest rates go up, the value of virtually all financial assets becomes less. So they're frozen by that and they don't know what to do.
Well, I mean, we talked to somebody a specialist that's specialist in the fixed income area. They can guide you along as far as taking advantage of certain situations as interest rates move up. It's a fluid situation. Obviously, with interest rates going up, bond values go down. The Fed is raising interest rates, which can have a negative effect on the market. Money is looking for a place to go. Money never sleeps. So money is always going to go to where it works the best. So, as money comes out of the equities, they might go into fixed income as interest rates go up. So you have to have a knowledgeable advisor that knows how to take advantage of those situations and move along versus being just in a static account, not doing anything, just riding along with what's going on with the markets. You have to react to the current environment we're in and what your current situation is based on your age, based on where you're at in life, and how near you are to retirement, or if you are in retirement.
And if you're anywhere near Boca Raton, Florida, then Stuart Chamberlin is the man to help you with that. Stuart, as usual, my pleasure having you here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching today's video, Financial Spring Cleaning Tips. If you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up button, give us a like, and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel for new content each and every week.